Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. We are in my kitchen right now and we're going to be making one of the most talked about dishes in West Africa, jollof rice. When it comes to jollof rice, I know my Nigerian brothers and sisters be trying to take the lead, but everybody knows the Ghana jollof rice takes the lead. Ghana jollof rice be bussing, and I have many alternative ways that I do my jollof rice, but today I wanted to make a beginner friendly version of my jollof rice. I usually will make this when I'm just trying to have something quick in the fridge, something quick for my kids to eat, and I'm not trying to be in the kitchen all day. It still tastes really good, and there's like a little key secrets that I do and tweak just so that my flavors mix well and the spices blend well together. So let's get into making the best jollof rice ever.
Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
For the ingredients, this is what I tend to use for the base of the stew. I make sure that I peel off my ginger, peel off my garlic, cut my onions, and use the canned tomatoes. Usually for this recipe, I do add red pepper, like a red bell pepper. I didn't get the chance to run to the grocery store for that, so we're not going to use that in this recipe. But if you do have bell pepper in your house or your fridge, you can add this to the stew and it's still fine. I love how the red bell pepper elevates the taste of the stew. However, you can still make this jollof rice taste really tasty even without the red bell pepper. And so yeah, these are the ingredients for the base of the stew that I tend to use. I'm gonna blend all the things together. So we're gonna blend the canned tomatoes, the ginger, the garlic, and the onions, and also the scotch bonnet pepper together. You can also use fresh tomatoes, but I don't always use fresh tomatoes. I find that the stew takes longer to cook, and this is supposed to be a simple, beginner-friendly meal. So I tend to rinse a little bit of water in it and pour it, just shake it up and pour it in there. Then we're going to use the onion. I tend to cut it in half. The ginger, the pepper, and garlic. Okay. I'm going to As you can see, our onions are still cooking. I have it on medium heat, so you don't want to burn the onions. You just want the onions to kind of turn more of a golden color. And so as you can see, it is starting to cook itself. I'm just going to do a quick mix so it doesn't stick to the bottom. So now the onions are like a nice golden brown. When they're a nice golden brown, I like to go in with the tomato paste. And I use all of it. And I just like to mix it in. So it kind of like it's frying up the tomato paste. So I just want to mix it. You just have to make sure that it's mixed well into the oil, like there's no clumps. So as smooth as possible. Right now I'm just mixing it in the oil. While that is cooking, you're gonna add the curry. Oh my god, my curry is literally down to the bottom. So you need the curry. I'm just gonna eyeball it because it's literally, but I always say half a teaspoon, not too much curry, and then you're gonna cook it. And I feel like this is like literally the secret ingredient, is adding curry. So you're gonna let that fry for a little bit, maybe about like 5 to 10 minutes. It smells so good. So as you can see, the tomato sauce and the curry kind of blended well together. I'm gonna pour in the blended tomato base, which is gonna be the main part of the stew. Again, I'm gonna add some water Just swirl and then pour. I haven't added my seasoning yet. What I like to do is I like the stew to cook down before I add the seasoning. I just feel like it absorbs the flavor better. That's the way my mom always has done it. So that's the way I do it. I know other people do it differently. They like to add their seasonings first. The only seasoning I always add is the curry powder, and that is it. I'll add my seasoning after everything is kind of done. So you're gonna keep that on medium heat. You're gonna cover it for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, we will check on it and stir it, and you will do that for about 3 to 5 times until the stew is like pretty much cooked down. The stew is cooked down. We're gonna add some half a tablespoon of chicken bouillon.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I don't see that before. Tomorrow, no, the husband comes first and eats.
It's been about 10 to 15 minutes. I just let it's like spouting a little bit. So I'm just reducing the heat, but it's been like 10 to 15 minutes. I have added all the seasoning. Now the fun part, I'm gonna add a little bit of chicken broth. You can just buy chicken broth or you can make your own. And then I'm going to mix it.
I love Jollof.
So I just added the chicken broth, and now the rice is ready. You want the stew to have some type of I don't like my stew when it's super cooked down, because it's not really being like an actual red stew. When you're making red stew, you cook your stew a little bit more down. But this one, because you're adding the rice and the flavors are going to cook in with the rice, I tend to let it look more like a stew. Like obviously it's cooked down, but not so much to the point where it's like all the moisture is dried out, if that makes sense. So you see how the rice is kind of like non-existent in the stew? That means that I need to add a little bit more, because you want it to be a little bit, like I feel like if I add a little bit more, I'm gonna probably add like another half a cup and then leave it so then it can cook in the stew. You don't want to overdo the rice because then it will actually dry out the stew, and you don't want to underdo the rice because then it will be mushy, and you don't want mushy jollof. So you can start to see the rice now. So do you see how now you see the rice? There's like more rice at the top. So now I'm going to cover it with saran wrap. I'm gonna cover it. And remember to turn your heat down to low. Okay guys, so final reveal. We are taking it off. Ooh, it's hot. And the jollof is jollofing. Do you guys see that? It's jollofing. It's jollofing. And that is it. That is it. So the jollof. This is how it is looking. Let's do a taste test. Do you guys want the first bite? Delicioso. is so good. It's actually really good. Like the flavors came together really well. Okay y'all, that is it for the jollof rice recipe. It came out so perfect. It tastes amazing. I don't know, maybe I'll be doing more cooking videos on this channel. Comment below and let me know if you actually end up trying the recipe. Like always, don't forget to shine your light while honoring the process. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.